Now I would like to speak to you about the main elements of the integrative cancer treatment that we use in our clinic. To begin with, I like to start with the conventional therapies and the principles of the conventional therapies that we already know. For example, surgery, radiation, chemotherapy are targeting the cancer itself, but they are not targeting the causes of the cancer, and that's what we can add to this treatment, because we think that no cancers occur coincidentally, and these cancers have causes, and maybe the same cancers in different patients can have different causes. That's why very important that besides fighting the cancer or taking out the cancer from the body, find the causes what contributed to the formation of the cancer. As I told you, these causes can be different, but we have to check them. We have to go through a certain list of causes, both physically and both physical and mental causes that can contribute to certain cancers. These causes are often in connection with dietary and lifestyle errors. So by measuring certain blood parameters and also food intolerances, we can determine a personalized diet to the patient, which promotes the regeneration of the body and inhibits the cancer growth or inhibits the regrowth of the cancer. One would not think how important certain lifestyle modifications are. How can stress, not just eating habits, but sleeping habits, or the lack of exercise can contribute to low oxygen, to low pH, to low tissue oxygen. These things drive cancer, and we have to eliminate it. At the next step, we have to clean the body. We have to detox the body, because for the regeneration of the body, it's very important to give the possibility to every organ to function properly. We know that it's very popular to detox the body, but not all methods are effective. And our aim is to clean the body, detox the body, without starving and without weakening the body, because if we start a very strict diet or a very strict regime, the patient might be weak, and the weakness is not good for regeneration. We also use some very new and very novel treatment technologies, which can be done along with conventional treatments, or before or after conventional treatments. And these therapies are very safe. They don't ruin the body. They don't target normal cells as conventional therapies does, because besides conventional therapies, it's very important to regenerate the body, to defend the certain systems of the body which keep us healthy, which prevent the regrowth of cancer. If we use only surgery, radiation, chemotherapy, then we don't take into consideration that there is a whole person around the cancer. And if we want to heal somebody, really heal somebody, we have to heal the whole body, not just targeting the cancer. That's what we do. So these therapies, these novel therapies, can be done along with the conventional treatments. They can be synergistic with the conventional treatments. These new treatment approaches, these new integrative cancer treatments, can be done together with the conventional treatments. They can be synergistic, working together. Besides this, they can defend the body or enhance the body's defense system to work properly while the body is treated with chemotherapeutic agents, with radiation. This is very important. These treatment options, as I told before, are not just treating the cancer, I mean the cancer itself, but they are regenerating the body and filling up the body with those micro and macro elements which are necessary, very necessary, to prevent the cancer from regrowth. Let's talk about briefly the main elements of these therapies. These elements can be done after each other. Not all of them is done with each patient. After the patient's visit, we assess the patient's condition and we find the best combination of these therapies. That is important. What is essential is the diet, lifestyle, detox, and refill the body with certain micro and macro elements. One very new and very effective cancer treatment is called photodynamic therapy. The basics of photodynamic therapy is a photodynamic action. This is a special laser therapy. We give the patient a photodynamic agent, which is distributed by the bloodstream. It's an IV injection, and the cancer cells have a tendency to take up, to eat these photosensitive agents. And after a certain time, like 3-4 hours, if we hit the cancer with a certain wavelength of laser light, it can be red laser, green laser, blue laser, or yellow laser. It depends on the agent that is administered to the patient. So if the cancer is hit by this laser light, the agent and the laser meets in the cancer cell, and the tissue oxygen, the oxygen molecules, will split into two oxygen atoms. An oxygen atom is a free radical. It's the most dangerous free radical, this free oxygen atom. But this oxygen atom is formed within the cancer cell, so it can instantly, within minutes, destroy the cancer cell. This therapy can be repeated. More locations can be treated simultaneously or afterwards. If the cancer is not under the surface of the skin, like let's say breast cancer, 3 centimeters deep, there are special needles that direct the laser light to the cancer to make this photodynamic reaction happen. So this is a very new and very effective new therapeutic option. The other thing which we use in eliminating the cancer is heat shock therapy. You might know that cancer cells are more don't like heat. They are more sensitive to heat. So when there is a certain temperature, a certain heat shock, then cancer cells might not survive, but normal cells survive. This heat shock that we use is not conventional hyperthermia treatment, because in a conventional hyperthermia treatment, the whole body is heated up, but we use a different wavelength. With this device, the body is heated up from inside to outside, not from outside to inside, and it's also gives out a special electromagnetic radiation, which is in the terahertz frequency. And this terahertz radiation is kicking in the mitochondria of the cells, also in the cancer cells. It is very important because in the cancer cells, the mitochondria are the cell organs which decide that the cancer cell kills itself, dies, or divides. So it has a double effect, and it's really very effective in certain types of cancer. Heat shock also produces heat shock proteins in the body. The heat shock proteins are one of the most effective proteins in eliminating not properly functionable cells, tumor cells or unfunctional cells. So besides the heat, there is a mechanism with the heat shock proteins that help the body to get rid of cancer. We also use the hyperoxygenation of the body. It does not mean more oxygen-free radicals, because we use oxygen gas to hyperoxygenate the body. Sometimes this oxygen is a very special oxygen which can penetrate through skin, not just the airways. We use stabilized oxygen in a liquid form to fill up the body with oxygen. The oxygen level, I mean tissue oxygen level, not blood oxygen level, is very important because cancer does not like oxygen. If we measure tissue oxygen, for example, above a breast cancer, it can be 5 times lower than the other breast, because the cancer creates an environment which lacks oxygen. And if we elevate the tissue oxygen level in the affected breast, the cancer cells will not survive. They might die because they cannot live above a certain oxygen level. They like hypoxia and they like low pH. One key element of our therapy is restoring and boosting immune functions, because finally the immune cells are the cells which prevent us from spreading the cancer and which can actually eliminate cancer cells. So without a proper immune system, it is impossible to get rid of a cancer in the long run. And unfortunately, conventional therapies like radiation and chemotherapy weakens or destroys the immune system, and they don't give anything afterwards to restore immune functions, or along the therapy the patients do not get any help which would maintain the bone marrow cells in production of immune cells. We use beta-glucans, we use GCMF, or on another name, macrophage activating factor. These are special compounds which are effective on special types of immune cells, and these cells will be much more violent, much more effective in fighting and eliminating cancer. In some cases, we give the patient hydrogen. There is a special device which can produce both inhalable hydrogen and both liquid hydrogen, which is diluted in water. Hydrogen is the fuel of the mitochondria. We know that cancer cells' mitochondrial functions are switched off. They ferment sugar and do not do oxidative phosphorylation, and the mitochondria are switched off. If we can switch on the mitochondria with heat, terahertz radiation, with hydrogen, then the functioning mitochondria and the DNA within the mitochondria will go in effect, and the mitochondria is deciding whether a cell is functioning properly or not. There is the information in the mitochondria which can trigger a mechanism of self-destruction or apoptosis of the cancer cells. Because the cancer's aim is not to destroy the body. The cancer cells do not want to destroy you, they just want to survive. And because of the lack of oxygen, the lack of hydrogen, the low pH, the cancer cells are functioning in an emergency mode. When the oxygen level is higher, when they get enough energy, there is no use to divide, no use to survive, because the conditions are back to normal. And when the conditions are back to normal and the mitochondria is properly functioning, the mitochondria in the cancer cell will start the apoptosis, because it recognizes that the functioning parts of the cancer cells are not healthy. The biochemical reactions which occur in the cancer cells are not what it's supposed to be. So there is another way to induce apoptosis in cancer. So in summary, our approach does not exclude conventional treatments. On the other hand, it integrates other treatments which destroy cancer and destroy the body a little bit. But besides this, we like to map the patient, we like to get to know the patient, we like to see the causes, because sometimes there is not just one cause of the cancer. There are dietary, lifestyle, stress and other causes, mental causes as well. So we like to discuss these things and assess what has to be changed in the patient's life. Besides this, on the physical level, we target the cancer with special compounds like IV infusions, which can be considered natural chemotherapy, like Artemisia annua extract, for example, IV vitamin C, IV amygdalin. There are special compounds which can naturally kill cancer without side effects. We use biophysical treatments which target the cancer and the sensibility of the cancer. This is like hyperthermia treatment, oxygen treatment, hydrogen treatment, and we also strengthen the immune system and target the cancer with the immune system. There are special compounds which can do that. And along with this, the body has to be detoxified gently, and it has to be refilled with natural compounds, with special and very effective microelements, vitamins, minerals and so on, immunomodulants, antioxidants. There is a complete list, but this list can be different in different patients. So altogether we treat the patient and not just focus on the cancer, and therefore the survival rate and the cure rate would be far better than without these therapies.